everyone. We're now going to continue our Zotero tutorials, and this tutorial is going to be first, I'm going to show you a quick adjustment you can make to the size of the font, to the size of the lettering, what you see in Zotero. And then I'm going to show you what I think is an unbelievably super cool thing, which is reading a PDF in Zotero, highlighting it, and seeing how you can get your highlights into Zotero really easily. Okay, so let's just start with a quick review. Remember, here is my library. The library is everything I have in my Zotero, and this is the leftmost pane, which tells me what's in my library, and I can click on the arrow and it tells me my different collections. Here, remember, I created this top level collection because it also contains collections itself. So you can put collections into collections and contain sublevels. I did that so it wouldn't be confusing for you and you would easily be able to see the practice collection. So here in the center is like the item pane. This tells all the items that are inside the collection. So if I click on top level, you'll see there's nothing there. But then if I go to Junior Zemi, I go to AI related, I can see all the different items I have. So let's go back to practice, and you'll see that we have the 3 items we included, but everything maybe looks a little bit small. Okay, in this pane, and of course there's the right side pane, remember, which has information, notes, tags, related. Notes, tags, and related I haven't shown you yet, but you will see notes a little later. So just remember what these panes are and looking how small these fonts are. Maybe it's difficult to read. To increase or decrease the size of the font in the Mac, as I said, I use a Mac, I go to View, and then I go to font size and I click on bigger. And things get a little bigger, but that's not big enough, let's say. So I go to font size again and I go bigger. And can I go any bigger? Let's see, font size. I can even go bigger. Is there a limit to how far I can go? I can go even bigger. Wow, maybe I can keep going forever. Anyway, you get the idea that you can really adjust the size. I'm going to take it down. I can go smaller now because it's too big still. I think it's still too big. I'm going to go smaller. I still want a little bit smaller maybe. So let me go here, smaller. Maybe that's okay, but maybe it's not. It all depends. So I'm going to say, maybe for my students, I should go a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go bigger on the font size. I'm getting some things cut off, you see, by analysis my key here. Don't worry about that for right now. But if I want, I can always change the size of the pane. You see, I can make it bigger. I can even make it disappear if I wanted. But I'm going to leave it here. I can change the size of this pane too. I can make it smaller, bigger. So there are different adjustments you can make. But let's move on. What we're really talking about today is reading a PDF in Zotero. Zotero has a built-in PDF reader. And remember, in each of these, we have a different PDF. Now, what happened with the BY 2018 an analysis of English vocabulary learning strategies, it did a very weird thing. And let's take a look. You see, it says Journal of Language Teaching and Research. It downloaded the entire journal. I haven't ever seen that before. I don't know why that happened. That seems really unusual to me. So for this case, I just wanted to show you this, but let's take a look at something else. Now, let's go to Kudo. Now, when you want to read the PDFs, by the way, you don't click at the top, you click on the PDF itself. Now, watch what happens when I click on Kudo 1999. It opens up, and I have my PDF here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a demonstration of highlighting. So to highlight, is to say, okay, I want to mark this as being important. I'm going to click the highlight text, and this allows me to choose my color. You might want to have color coordinated highlighting, for example, super important, important, interesting, maybe needed. I don't know. There could be different ways that you could do your highlighting color, but we're just going to use yellow right now. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say, okay, this is the the abstract, but let me go down to this first part, literature review. And I'm going to say, this looks interesting. So I'm going to highlight this right here. Okay. Okay. And let's just highlight that. And notice here it shows up right away. It shows up here on this page. Let's say I go down a little more. I go here and I say, this maybe is interesting too. And I'm going to highlight that and highlight a little more. Okay, and look, again, it shows up. It also tells us which page of the PDF it's showing. So for example, here I'm on page 3, and it says page 3. Let me just go to another page. Let's go down here, and let's highlight this part here just for interest. And again, now it shows up on the left side. So watch what happens. If I want to go back and find out where is this, I click here and it takes me back to the page and it takes me directly to the highlight. Same thing here. It now takes me to the highlight. So I can easily navigate to my highlights just by clicking on them and knowing where they are. So we can just keep going and we could keep highlighting, okay? But what I also want to show you, though, is in case you want to get rid of a highlight, for example, if you decide this highlight's not needed, you go to these 3 dots, going up and down, vertical dots, and you can change the color at any time, but you can also delete it. Don't worry about edit page number, edit highlighted text. You don't need that right now. So if I click delete, that would delete that highlight from my highlight pane. So I'm just going to go down, or we're just going to go down. Let's just go down somewhere more, and let me highlight again. Okay, I highlight, and I'm going to highlight one more thing, okay? Let's highlight this whole paragraph, let's say. We think it's important. So I read through and I highlight. Now, why is this important? I mean, you can highlight in any PDF app, but watch what happens now. I'm going to go back to this main Zotero section. Please notice, practice tells me that is the collection I'm in. This window, L2 Vocabulary Learning Strategy, is the PDF reader I've been using. So I'm going to go back to practice and look. I have Kudo, L2 Vocabulary Learning Strategies. I click here, and please notice my notes are empty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the parent, okay? The parent item. Remember, that's the main heading is the parent, and the PDF is the child. And please note, I can click right here, Add Note from Annotations. Watch what happens now. I get an extra entry, child entry, with a note thing, but here it shows it's taken out all the highlights that I have. So for example, it says here, annotations 12/27/2023, and it gives the time, tells you when I've done this. And here is the highlight. It's in quotation marks already, okay? And we have the source of it, Kudo 1993 and page 3. Same thing for the next one, Kudo 99, page 6. And then I have the other additional highlights. It automatically brings the highlights in and automatically includes the page number for the citation, because remember, in APA style, when you quote, you always have to have the page number. So this has done this. Now watch, this is really cool. I'm going to click here, and I can edit the citation, but watch, I can show the item, and it will take me back to the main thing that I am looking for. So in other words, it's a really, really, really nice thing. you have show on page, and look, it will take you back to the PDF and show you exactly what the source is. This is really useful if you lose track, okay? That's a lot to show right now, but the main thing that's important for you is that you know that if you go into a PDF and you highlight the PDF, your highlights will show up. You can click on each one in this annotation pane, note pane, to find your links, your highlights. And the other thing again is remember that if you go back and if you've clicked on the main parent item and said add annotations, add note from annotations, you get your annotations and everything has been automatically moved for you. Really, really nice. But there's one thing you do need to be careful about. Let's take a look at Gu and Johnson 1996 vocabulary learning. And it's opened up another tab, so I can still go back and forth between my tabs. But take a look here. This is really old. This was a scanned document. You can't highlight this, okay? It's not going to work, all right? That well, and as you can see, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. So if you get an old kind of PDF like this, it's not going to be able to get the highlights out. All right, I want to stop right now. That's enough. You now know how to highlight in a PDF and get your highlights into Zotero, which is, I think, super, super cool. Okay, thanks, and we'll be posting another video very, very soon. Thank you.